You're stateless and super rich. So where do you park your yacht during a financial crisis?
It's a proposal to make this part of the city just accessible to very high-income people that we try to oppose in the name of the people of the city.
On this week's programme, we head to Barcelona to find out how plans for a new marina for the super rich aren't going down well with some locals. We travel to Wales, home of the Red Dragon, to see how the country's getting all fired up for the Olympics. And
the site that does all the searching so you get a better holiday, and the world's most daring walk across Niagara Falls. That's Online Check-In later in the show.
Hello, I'm Fiona Foster. Welcome to Fast Track. Now, it's a fact that when it comes to super yachts, only the really well-off can afford to sink so much money into something just to keep it afloat. And when it comes to Mediterranean yachting paradises, well, your mind probably turns to Monaco or Cannes. But the Spanish city of Barcelona is now staking its claim to be an elite home port to the world's ocean-going playboys and playgirls. But with the economy in crisis and one of the highest levels of unemployment in Europe, how do the locals feel about the idea? We sent Rajan to find out more about the backlash in Barcelona.
Barcelona, like the rest of Spain right now, is going through financial and economic turmoil, with youth unemployment soaring and austerity measures biting hard. But for the global super rich, it seems, calm waters prevail, and right now they're opening up their horizons and looking for a new place for their mega yachts to hang out in. And they've found it. It's here.
The port is a part of the city that historically has been very integrated to the everyday life of the city. But the thing is that at 1992, when Barcelona held the Olympic Games, there was a very strong option for the city to open up the city to the sea.
And the desire to exploit commercial opportunities in Barcelona carries on till today. Marina Port Vell is already a popular choice for owners, captains and crews of 400 boats.
Your industry is going places and going places fast. The boats are getting bigger, they're getting flashier, and obviously they need a home, and we really do aim to provide a very good home for those vessels.
In 2010, the private investment company Salamanca bought a concession on this prime piece of real estate. Now it plans to enlarge and develop the area to create fully serviced berths for 150 or so more luxury yachts. This has been approved by the Spanish Port Authority, but not the City Council. More spectacular, more professional, more super yachts. That's the promise. But is this a step too far down luxury lane for this historical and design-conscious city?
The transformation of the port area here in Barcelona really took place after the Olympics in 1992. And for the most part, people here think it's a good thing.
Transformation has meant the construction of this shopping mall by the seafront, and the city has become a bit of a beach paradise too. But the stateless super-rich set demand tight security, 5-star concierge services, restricted or even no public access. And the Marina Port Vell project is determined to provide that. So is this becoming Barcelona's tale of two cities? One for the privileged moneyed elite and one for locals? This resident of the Barceloneta neighbourhood on the doorstep of the marina thinks so.
Isn't this progress?
Well, generating economy does not mean generate welfare. That is the first thing that we have to know. The other thing is the different ways of promoting tourism in a sustainability way and not in a way that destroys the public space.
Gala took me to her street in Barcelona, where local life used to be all about fishing and jobs around the port. Now this proud working-class community is worried about being priced out by the creeping privatisation and gentrification of their city.
Hola, ¿qué tal?
Paco's family have been here since the 1940s, and his stall in the old market is a fixture for locals and tourists, but not the new yachting crowd.
I think these big modern projects will affect people. To what point, I'm not sure, but we will lose much of the atmosphere, a lot of the tranquility of the district. This new project will kill the little left we have of its character.
Salamanca Capital Investment is based in London's Mayfair district. Its founder denies that the project will destroy Barcelona's heritage and working-class roots.
Will it increase their trade? Yes, I think it probably will. Will it materially change the look and feel of what they offer? I don't believe that it will.
Will it create local jobs?
It will create local jobs. I'm confident of that.
Spain right now is in financial crisis.
Yeah.
It needs jobs, it needs investment and money. This is providing this, isn't it?
Precarious jobs, jobs taken by people that is not the people of Barcelona, people coming from abroad.
Number one, our priority is to transform Marina Port Vell in the most appropriate and exciting way that we possibly can that adds benefit to Barcelona and the local community. That's the number one priority.
But you're a business. Surely the number one priority is to make sure that your investors are happy.
I run the business and that's what the priority is.
But many local opponents refuse to see the development as a fait accompli and plan a demonstration with a human chain around the port. And they say there has to be more dialogue and compromise.
You cannot do this kind of development against the people of Barcelona. So maybe, as a result of a dialogue, we can share some views for the future.
The final decision on the development of this marina will be taken by the City Council very shortly, and then presumably the project will go on full steam ahead. But this isn't just a story about Barcelona and its yachting community. It's a story about fundamental values and the difference between public and private space in popular tourist destinations all around the world.
Rajan reporting on growing tensions in Barcelona. So what do you think? Is there a development going on like that near you? And if so, what do you think of it? Is it a welcome boost for the economy, or do you think it's something that just creates division? Do let us know at our usual address, fasttrack@bbc.com. And that's the address many of you use to get in touch about some stories we've featured recently on the programme. Last week's story about the high cost of flying around the Caribbean got many of you who live there emailing in.
Many people now only have one or two options. That's for local carriers, Liat and of course Caribbean Airlines. Many of them say, however, that it's too expensive to make the short hop between islands to visit friends and family.
Well, Nick's film certainly struck a chord with Erwin Jovan from St Vincent and the Grenadines. He emailed to say that aviation will never be a cost-effective choice for most of the region's population, when the local airlines seem to have such crazy pricing structures.
If you live on a small island and want to go to a major world city, you first have to fly to one of the islands with a bigger airport like Puerto Rico, St Martin or Barbados. And sometimes the flight to these islands is more expensive than your onward trip. Many people here would like to visit other islands, but the flight to Miami or New York is often cheaper.
And Tyson Clegg emailed us from Melbourne in Australia to take issue with last week's story about how to sightsee your way about his city by tram.
I have just seen your feature regarding getting around Melbourne on the free tram network and had to advise that as a native and current resident of Melbourne, the trams are not free. Far from it, in fact. You now have to purchase a Mikey card for the new ticketing system, which is $6 for your troubles before you even add travel credit to it. Definitely not free, if only it was.
Well, we're sorry if we gave the impression that all trams in Melbourne are free, Tyson, as that's clearly not the case. However, the City Circle Heritage tram line Carmen used in that film definitely is, so maybe that's why it's so popular with tourists and a good number of locals too. Hopefully that's cleared up any confusion. And thanks to all of you who emailed us. Please do keep them coming. I promise you, we do read every one. Now let's have a look at what else has been making news in the world of travel over the past week.
It should be much cheaper now to make mobile phone calls and download data around Europe. Caps on the amount operators are allowed to charge have come into force this month. The European Commission says for a Belgian family taking a week's holiday in Italy, for example, the bill should come down from 270 to 44 euros. Plans to make aisle seats wider in economy have not gone down at all well with passengers, it seems. 84% of people asked by the Skyscanner website said the change would be unfair because it would mean smaller middle and window seats. The new Airbus designs would see a whopping 20 inches for the lucky few, with everyone else making do with just 17. And the king is dead, long live the king. We've all been very sad recently following the death of Lonesome George in the Galapagos Islands. He was famous worldwide as the last tortoise of his kind. When he died, so did a whole subspecies. But step slowly forward, Diego. He's the new centenarian tortoise everyone wants to see there. He's special because he represents a species saved from extinction. It's thought he fathered nearly half of all the Hispaniola Island breed in existence. Excellent work, Diego.
Well, that's it for now, but stay with us because coming up after the break, Carmen's here with the very best from the web. Plus, we visit the place where the first event of the 2012 Olympics will be held. But it's not in London, so where is it?